So, 4 a.m. is usually when people make videos and stuff about their minis that they brought to work with them, right? That's normal, isn't it? Probably not. So I've never done anything like this before. I don't know if I'll ever do anything like this again. But I wanted to just rant about some of these guys. So what you see is about 7% of my total minis, which is too many. I have too many stuff. Too many stuff. But too much stuff. But I'm recording this on my phone at work, so the sound quality is probably terrible. But and I've got it set on like 740p on my phone, so I don't know what the visual quality is like. But I just want to talk about some of these guys for a minute. They are all in various stages of completion. As you can see, I still have to do a lot of base work, like a lot. But yeah, so I'm going to try to keep this relatively short. According to the cellular phone, I have about 14 minutes worth of memory to work with, so I'm trying to make this as quick as I can. What you see before you is not necessarily a single functioning army, but rather several smaller groups within a larger endeavor. Said endeavor being, originally it was supposed to be a rebel guerrilla army for grim dark future by one page rules. Great game, a lot less complicated than 40k, both in terms of lore and rules, and therefore doesn't make my head hurt. Finding people to play with is nearly impossible, but I'm antisocial anyway, so it's fine. But that has changed a little bit, the rebel guerrilla part, because while the theme of this army definitely is similar to that, the actual rules have changed a bit in terms of what I'm going to use them for. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about thematics. What are thematics? Look it up in the dictionary. But basically, these guys are all from different walks of life on a single planet, the name of which I haven't decided yet. But it is in essence a big desert planet with a couple of different biomes, but mostly desert. One huge city that is suffers from ye old upper class living good, lower class living in the slums, cyberpunk, road warrior aesthetic. Outside the city is a bunch of wasteland that is full of ancient relics and just junked up old war weapons from long forgotten wars, all kinds of weird monsters, supernatural bullshit. It's basically what you would expect from that kind of setting. And while there is, I'm not just doing stories on that one planet, I'm doing them all over the place in the Sirius sector, which is where Grimdark Future takes place. These particular models mostly, except for maybe the Jackals over here, and Ezra and her little entourage back here, mostly takes place on that particular planet, which I should really name. And I will, eventually. But we'll start over here with the Jackals, because why not? And these are Vay's Vandals. Vay is a character that belongs to a friend of mine, actually Gremlin, really great artist. This is him here. Say hi, Vay. Focus camera. He was one of the first minis that I really kind of went all in with. I'm really happy with the way his colors turned out. He was also the first character I ever did like green stuff with. And that tail is supposed to be big and fluffy, but I think it just kind of looks funny. But just use your imagination. Use your imagination. Vay has a big fluffy tail, and so I gave him a big fluffy tail. We've also got Ace, who is his constant companion, the robot Yen. Robot hyena looking guy. Probably more of a robot dog or wolf, but some form of robot quadruped. And there's a whole pack of his buddies over there. Vay is usually in the rules connected, or not Vay, but Ace here is connected to Vay, usually in the rules. He's an attack beast. which these guys over here are their own squad. We've also got back here a squad of specialists. Doggos with guns. And we have these guys over here, which are Kale's Ravagers. Kale's another character that belongs to Grimm. And they follow the old ways in the lore and my own personal headcanon. So they're mostly using bone weapons or stuff that they've scavenged. That guy back here has a power sword. Good for him. And then there's Zur, who is kind of single-handedly holding this whole thing together. Vei's the leader, but he's not exactly super charismatic, whereas Zur isn't either, but at least he has, wisdom. He gets along well with Vei, he gets along well with Zur, and he follows the old ways as well, but he understands the new ways, and that he has in his hand is a peach, because he likes peaches. So that's Vei's Vandals. They're basically mercenaries, going around, not causing trouble, but actually they're good boys, and probably good girls, I assume. Yeah, good boys and good girls. And good thems. Back here, we've got Ezra, who, man, I'm really happy with her paint job. Her paint job should not have turned out as good as it should have. I don't know if the quality on the video is showing that, but she's great. And she is accompanied by Vincent, this little guy over here, and by Minerva. And they're all three psychics. Ezra herself, her history in this universe is kind of rough. She's an abhuman, so she's a human with feline aspects. Was a normal person at one point, but got experimented on, which made her super tall, super strong, also pumped up her psychic powers. And the people who experimented on her, they kind of reaped what they sowed. After she escaped them, she started wandering around and has just been helping people ever since. But she's very aloof. She doesn't usually stick around or show up herself. And if I do put her in a game, I don't even know what rules to run her as yet. I haven't really figured it out, but I like her a lot, and she's cool. We also have these guys, who are basically Star Wars rebels, by in appearance, if not name, which is very distinct from Lightsaber McGee here. This is Owain, who's totally not Obi-Wan Kenobi. He used to be an Inquisitor, and the Inquisition in this world is a little different from the 40k one. They're a little more about just helping humanity in general, but they're still willing to do it in very scummy ways. And he kind of got fed up with it. He got fed up with the way they do things, and so he bailed. Ended up joining up with these guys, who are a very ramshackle group of different individuals from different backgrounds. Humans, abhumans, xenos, hybrids, just all kinds of, they're not picky. There's even some fish guys. But they're not really well equipped. They have very, very cobbled together equipment, stuff that they could scavenge and get together. And they're mostly just fighting to keep their home planet free from the Alliance or from the Conduit's forces or from anyone else who tries to conquer them. But life ain't easy. They don't really have a lot of connections inside the major city on the planet, and so they live in the wastelands, and it ain't easy. It ain't easy being cheesy. These are some of the weapon placements I've made for them, which I really, really dig. But these things are held together by duct tape and a prayer. Like, there's a reason that all the people running them have wrenches and different kinds of equipment, and are just, they're almost having to repair these things as much as they're using them. Like this one here, this guy, which is operated by some form of badger man and a nice lady with a beanie, is to aim it. They do have like a little aiming reticle laser gun, but more than minor aiming changes, they actually had to lift the thing to turn around. Yeah, like heave and then lift it and put it back down, and it's very heavy. just kind of goes to show you how cobbled together everything is. Like this tank back here, which needs a paint job severely, is my first attempt at scratch building. It's made from a paint bottle and some stuff from the Hobby Lobby mostly. Desperately needs a paint job, but I tried to prime it. It didn't prime very well, so I'm going to have to do it again. But again, just this cobbled together vehicle. Same goes for Hot Rod over here, which is kind of got a goblin nose, and I'm going to try to put a flamethrower barrel in there. But it just goes to show you how hard of a time they have. I'm also running out of time. And back here, we've got the barrel riders. Again, they're in the wastelands as well. Usually end up working with these guys more often than not. Their mechs are literally made from barrels. You know those grills that are made from barrels? Same thing except robots. In the middle we've got Gadget, one of my characters from D&D, and now in the Grimdark Future. Good for her, I guess. We also have Trinket, who totally isn't Tiny Tina. I don't know what you're talking about. And over here we've got Gizmo, who is probably an orc. I'm pretty sure that's what she is. She's an orc or some kind of half orc, half human, or half elf. I don't know. And she's really cool. And they all pilot these cool robots. I'm going to skip these guys for right now because they're kind of random. I'm also running out of time, so I got to hurry. We've got the Western Squad, led by Gwen here. And they live in a small town out in the desert and are constantly... They're the get off my lawn group, constantly trying to protect their small town from invaders. Including Cole here, who is a cat boy, who I did a lot of kit bashing with to get him green stuffed up with ears and a tail, and just very happy with the way it turned out. Then there's these guys, guys and girls, who are originally they were supposed to be like from the big city, and they were workers who rebelled and ended up in the wastelands and are just trying to get by. That's probably what's going to happen to them still, but I'm still going to think about exactly how to where I'm going to put them, whether they're in the wastelands or whether they're in the city. These back here, led by totally not Jinx from Arcane, what are you talking about, the minis are Escher girls from Necromunda, but I've kit bashed them a lot with, maybe not a lot, but some with other parts, and they, along with this group of Cyberpunk minis, some from Edge Runners, some just general Cyberpunk minis, are from the big city, and they live in the lower part of the city, and are they cause trouble. They run a lot. The nobles up in the upper city are just like, we don't like them. They're causing us a headache. And so they get into a lot of trouble. But they also live both in and outside of the wastelands. They go to the wastelands for like parts and weapons, and then they come back to the city to cause trouble. Whereas this lot, they mostly stay in the city, and they have cybernetics going on. And they're a little more urban, whereas these guys are a mix of urban and out-of-towners. And then there's these rando minis, which are just random peeps that go wherever I need them to go at any given time. This is Vin, another one of Grimm's characters. Really happy with the way he turned out. Lots of work. The tail I had some trouble with the tail, but I think it worked out in the end with the paint job. And there's Vi, who's probably going to end up over here with her sister, but we'll see how that works out. We've got a robot detective, or cyber detective, and we've got like a totally not Alita character with cool hair. But anyway, I'm out of time right now, and that lady there, she's basically an Ogren. She's very tall. She also may be an Ogren. I don't know. But anyway, I'm running out of time, so that's the ramble. I don't know how to end a video, so I'm just gonna say God bless and God bless and be good to each other, and to yourselves too.